My gorgeous animal needs to eat. Proper sustenance. It's a beautiful thing. I got these duck treats for Chunks. They literally look like mini loaves of bread. What a good boy. Sometimes we all need to have a dog mindset. There you go, buddy. I also got him some tuna chunks for Chunks. You know, I gotta feed the boy first. What about all those pieces there? The pieces. Look at those pieces. There's another one in the corner there. Yeah. Don't miss that one. See, he even takes the food so delicately, but yet he's capable of being so destructive if needed. The interesting thing about that is that we all have the same mentality can be instilled on us, is to be as, what's the word I'm looking for, as delicate as we need to be, but can be destructive. See, I often give it a lot of thought as to just the word human being. And I don't think too many people think about it because of the chaos of our lives. We don't pay attention. And I use the word pay because it always costs you something. Whether it's taking time out of your day, keyword, taking time out of your day to literally do what I'm doing right now. Sitting in a field, in the grass, grounding with the dog. Last night I worked till about like 9:30. I couldn't see anymore. I even put lights out and I was just like, this is getting stupid. I'm getting angry. I should just pack it in, call her a day, sleep in the garage that I'm working at, wake up this morning exhausted. Like, it looks like I got puffy eyes. It looks like I'm tired. I'm pretty sure it shows because like when I'm walking through the stores, people are just looking at me funny. Anyways, long story short, what are we being with the time we are given? I feel like that's something we don't focus on. So if we're human beings and we have the ability to do anything we want in our life, why are we allowing ourselves to be influenced in a direction that doesn't actually benefit all of human beingdom, I guess you could call it? Just like Chunks, we need this dog mindset. Look at this guy. Most gorgeous thing alive. And when I talk about dog mindset, what I'm talking about is they focus on the most important things. What are those most important things? Survival, but not in the sense of survival. They're most definitely not in the sense of survival. It's like getting up and thinking about, oh, I have to breathe when I wake up. They don't think like that. They just do it, right? And I feel like we've gotten so far away from our natural instincts, and the instincts being like the pack mentality. Like as humans, we should be working together to eradicate forms of thinking that basically mess with the physiology of our existence. And what I mean by that is, like, I was talking to this guy the other day about like changing and correcting your status. I don't usually talk about this stuff on this channel, is just because I'm fairly new to YouTube. I'm fairly new to editing videos and doing all that kind of stuff. So anyone who's watching this channel probably goes, wow, this is like a clusterfuck of just like all kinds of shit on this channel. Because I haven't specifically dedicated it to anything other than I went into the mindset of doing this for documentation of all the crazy shit that life throws in my direction, and to document my dog. So the channel was actually created really because so much shit happens on a daily basis to us. Like, for instance, just like last night, I'm up till like 9:30 putting down landscaping fabric, and the shitty pins that you use to put down the landscaping fabric are so fragile that they won't penetrate 2 pieces of landscaping fabric. It'll do 1, but not 2. No. Had to hammer and nail the thing in. Man, and to all those who are saying hi, hey man, what's your content all about? See, guys, like, what is this all about? It's literally about just the day-to-day. My life, my dog's life, and just topics that I feel are ridiculous. Like, you'll see me commenting on some videos where women are talking about certain things, and some of it does revolve around those topics, because like a lot of the times, like right now we're talking about who are we being as human beings. Well, the other thing we could be saying is, who are we being as men? Who are we being as women, right? Like, where are our roles there? And are we really like listening to that inner voice that's telling us to do something? But I feel like the world is created with so much distractions now that voice is kind of silent, right? That voice is like, I don't even know what direction I'm going, right? Like, they got us paying attention to the most stupidest shit in this world that I can't even imagine. Like, when I was, like, I think about it today, I'm like, how did we get from, like, when I was in high school to now? How did any of this shit evolve? Because certain people are put in place, they have an agenda, and they want certain outcomes, and they want to influence you into the happenings of those outcomes. Like, for instance, the women's freedom movement was basically about attacking men and how they don't need us. But that's like us saying we don't need women to have kids. Like, we both need each other. We're yin and yang, right? Like, it's crazy to me, the arguments that we have based on these ridiculous ways of thinking. Like we need women and women need us. And that's the bottom line, right? Like, sure, if you want to go and do whatever the hell you want to LGBTQ shit, whatever you want to do, right? That's fine. Go and do it. I'm not stopping you. Never would I have ever stopped you. My problem is that they're trying to tell us that we have to change the way we think. Like, the grass right now is kind of like a dead green looking, but somebody says, nope, that's purple. You have to say that that's purple. And that's literally where I draw the line. Nobody tells me shit, right? And now that I started learning about, like, the rules of the game, let's just say. Because the other day I was talking about status correction and acting as a man, acting as a woman. And you got to think the word acting is not much different from the word persona. When you look up the word person, it talks about you being having a mask that you put on, just like a police officer, let's say. Police officer goes to work, he puts on the mask to become the police officer for the day. When he goes to bed, that mask comes off, right? But not to mention the fact that not only is it a police officer, look at the word police. That word alone in itself, what does it mean? It means policy. Policy. And then you put the word on the end of that, enforcement. They're enforcing policy on us so that we act in a way that they want us to act, instead of being free men and women. So it's not really my intention for this video was to be talking about this. It's just more or less what naturally flows is where I go. And that's why I'm sitting in a field basically on the ground, because I'm grounding. I'm like, I need to restore my energy. And we've gotten away from that by like wearing shoes and doing all those other kinds of things that we were naturally meant to be doing. But this also goes back to the way we are kind of thrust into a certain way of thinking. So when you start acting, who are you acting as? You know, I've often asked people the question, if you had the opportunity to do anything you want in this life, no matter what it is, doesn't matter how much it costs, doesn't matter like what kind of education, the possibilities are endless. All you got to do is pick. It's like driving up to a drive-thru and you see the menu board. But see, the interesting thing about that menu board is that menu board only belongs to the restaurant that you're going to, and you're picking based on that. So, well, you want a combo 1, a combo 2? Well, your life is just like that. And you need to start to learn that we're all playing this game called Monopoly, right? And sure, you can get on the board, play, and the goal of that game is to get as many properties as possible so that you can ensure a long existence in the game. And there are some of those players who just like, I'm just playing. They don't get much properties. In the end, they end up losing a lot of properties. And then they just go cycling around the board until the money runs out. Canada is designed like that right now. We're getting to the point where the money's running out. And the money is not really the issue. It's the concept that comes with the money. The fact that you could take a $20 bill, a $10 bill, a $5 bill, or a $100 bill. If anyone even really remembers what a bill is, right? They're all the same size. They're just painted different designs and colors and told to us what the value of that bill is based on the size and colors. Because back in the day, there was people who were taking, like, in the States, these counterfeiters, they would take a $1 bill and turn it into a $100 or $1,000 bill and go around town and passing them off and basically rigging the game, right? The thing is, the people who created the game don't like it when you rig the game, or don't like it if you understand the rules of the game. So wouldn't it be in your best interest that you know the rules of the game of life, and the life that you're actually living, and not the life that they're telling you to live and create based on their rules? So this is what I'm getting at in this video, is that, like, I was talking about status correction and I was talking about a bunch of other stuff. So there's a point to why I'm speaking a certain way, is just to kind of get people on the same page. And it's in your best interest to learn how the game is played. And during I don't even know if you could say it or not. I haven't read all the stuff on Facebook, but when they went around giving people the, you know what, just because I don't want my channel getting canceled until I figure everything out. There was this big thing that happened back in 2020 where everyone had to go get a certain kind of thing. Not had to, but were told that they had to. And this word started getting thrown around a lot, like mandate. Mandate this, oh, it's a mandate. It's a mandate. You can't enter the thing. It's mandated. I'm like, mandate. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I am not the most educated person when it comes to academics, right? When I left high school, I went straight into building houses, man. Like, I was building houses during high school because the school system is so messed up. It wasn't, like, it just didn't work for me. I was getting kicked out of every class, whatever. So I deal with, like, ADHD and I deal with hyperactive disorder. So my ability to learn academically, if I'm not engaged, I'm almost like, yeah, I can't do this. But now I started learning all this stuff. And this is coming from somebody who's not, like, a scholar. I started looking up the word mandate. And mandate means contract in legalese, right? What's legalese? It's the same system that's put in place to keep you running around in a circle. They make legalese so hard to understand or comprehend. I don't like using the word understand because you don't want to stand underneath their laws, right? And their laws be over you. That's how acts and statutes work. So I've made it my mission. Where did the dog go? Oh, it's over there. I made it my mission to start, like, adding more tools to the arsenal. And what I mean by that is I started just, like, paying attention and going, wait a minute, mandate? What are they talking about? This doesn't make no sense. And I met this guy way back when who was talking to me about, like, persona and all this other stuff. And that really sparked the fire into being like, okay, if I'm going to learn any kind of academics, it's going to be able to comprehend what this whole legal shit is and what's legal and what's lawful. See, there's a very interesting point here, is that you got to be able to operate in these realms and know how you're operating based on the wording that they're using. And if they're going around throwing the word mandate and you're going, oh, okay, yeah, totally, put that thing on me. Yep, this is going to protect me from all the viruses. All I got to do is wear this everywhere I go. Chunks is like, even the dog is like, what are you doing? Can you go lay down over there, please? Yeah, you're, okay, well, you can lay down here. Fine. Perfect. I love it. I love it when I have time with my gorgeous animal. Look at this guy. He's so fucking beautiful. This is why I love my dog. Because my dog is genuine. And I find that that's one thing that people lack a lot of, is genuinity. I don't know if I'm saying that right. So anyways, you start learning how the system works, how the Monopoly game's played. And then you will start seeing what's really going on. And what's really going on is just to infect the being that we are trying to be and being controlled by the masses, which we should just all do what we feel we're supposed to do and somehow come together and intertwine each other's belief systems in a way that helps society. So where I was going before Chunks jumped into the picture here was that when you're playing a game, your best interest is to learn how that whole game is being played, right? And a lot of the times you're being played, because if you don't know how to play the game, you're gonna lose. And that's where I feel a lot of us here in Canada are ending up, is we're gonna lose because we're just letting them throw these legal fiction names around, right? Like how like mandate is not mandatory as in I have to do it, and I lost all my freedom as soon as they threw that word out there, and oh, I will follow, let me go in the direction that they told me to, right? Yes, okay, I'll rub your belly. Yes, okay. Okay, we'll just love the dog and talk at the same time. I can't read the comments from here. My eyes are a little bit messed up. So anyways, mandate means contract in legalese. So if you, guess what? If you get in trouble and they were like, we're going to charge you. And what they're actually doing is they're basically creating a charge against the legal fiction that you are. And when I say you are, the one you have adopted once you got identification. And that all comes from the birth certificate, which is the false document that was created by the government for you to act as, so that you can act under their statutes and acts and all that other shit. So long story short, because I'm not going to get too into this unless you guys really want me to go deep into this. I might have to like do a little section of how we ended up here. But more or less, we are presumed to be something that we're not. Like, for instance, you are born, your parents gave you a name. Gave. That doesn't make that name you until you act as that name. And it's interesting that a lot of the laws that we follow are literally called acts and statutes, which only apply to government bodies. And the moment you start identifying as a government body, all caps name, basically a legal fiction, that's the moment when they're like, oh, okay, perfect. You've landed on Park Place, and now you owe us thousands of dollars. Well, why do I owe you thousands of dollars? It says right here in the rules, you're gonna owe us thousands every time you land on Park Place. You're gonna owe us thousands. Are you telling me to shut up? Is that what it is? Look at you. You're like, just, I don't know. I love my dog. First thing I ever loved, I guess. I don't know. I never knew I loved anything until I had a dog. So you land on Park Place. Now you have to pay because the rules say you have to pay. And it's not their fault that you don't know how to play. They just assume you're playing. It's like playing tag with somebody that doesn't know that you're playing that game in that moment, right? They're just, let's play tag, you're it. Oh, I didn't know I was playing. Yes, you are, and if you get caught, you basically have to pay this fine. It's just like mandate. The moment you pay the fine, you become part of the game. You're like, oh, okay, that's me. You have to dispute that fact. You have to dispute that matter. You have to be like, no, that's not how it is, and I'm not playing. And that's what I've been dealing with in court myself. Is I'm like, no, it's your obligation as the Crown to give me the evidence that you're saying that I have been charged with. They're like, oh, you got to get a lawyer. You must get a lawyer. If you get a lawyer, you'll be able to read those DVDs that don't work on your in your computer or your PlayStation or wherever. I'm like, yeah, but if you guys printed me some evidence on A-Track, for instance, does that mean I have to go get an A-Track player, which I can't find nowadays, to view the evidence that you have against my person, my persona? Whether it's me acting as me, the living man named whatever, Jack, or am I acting as the all caps name legal fiction Jack, right? Because when you go to court, you're in all caps. Everything's in all caps. You look at your bills, all caps. You look at your passport, all caps. Your driver's license, all caps. And you hear me saying things like your driver's license, your passport, your this, your that. Well, that's false for me to even say that, because if you look at any of those documents, your passport, it's not yours. It belongs to the Canadian government, right? Your driver's license, not yours, belongs to the Canadian government. Your birth certificate, not yours. Legal fiction created by the Canadian government. So they're basically just asking you to be part of their game. And you've obliged. You're like, yeah, no, this is me. Cop pulls you over. Where's your driver's license? Oh, here you go. They're like, oh, perfect. Oh, we found an account that we have created on your behalf that you were a part of. Thank you. Perfect. Now we can issue tickets and everything else. Now you're back in the Monopoly game. Because before you gave that ID, you weren't playing. But they're trying to force you to play because they're trying to get you to enter into commercial commerce. Driving is a commercial activity. Operating, commercial activity. There's so many things that you don't even realize you're doing that's a commercial activity. Like to go to the store, like does it make any sense to have a driver's license to go to the store and then come home? You're not transporting anybody. You're not transporting goods other than your own. You're working in the private. You're living in the private. And that's kind of where we need to get back to, is being private men and women. And this is what I've been learning in my studies, is that that's where the power lies. But the moment like you've been like, here's my ID, you've consented one. You're driving on the road, you have a registered plate because your car's registered. That's consent number two. They say, they ask you, do you know why I pulled you over? And you say, what is speeding for 500, Alex? Consent number 3. They're like, all right, so we got 3 forms of consent. And to be honest, it always kind of goes back to biblical stuff like the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. 3 is a very important number in law and in life. And what's interesting is they'll test you 3 times. And if you consent to all 3, then they're like, well, we got him dead to rights. Sorry. We assume that you're the player of the game and you belong on this board, and therefore you must pay these fines. And really, what they're trying to do is get you to pay the fines out of your pocket with fiat currency, money, whatever. Okay, yes, gorgeous thing. And, but we could actually rescission those tickets or fines. Oh yeah, just take it out of the bond. And the bond is the legal fiction of the birth certificate. That's why it's on bond paper. Now it's on bonded plastic paper because the money is created on bonded plastic paper. And I feel like the reason why we're heading into a realm of cryptocurrency is because, again, look at the word corporation, look at the word crypto, look at the word commercial, right? Because they all fall under the same thing. And crypto is dead money. Who would have thought? Fiat currency is also dead too. The difference being is way back when they couldn't have been like, you know what? I'm going to create a system of nothing, and I am going to basically get everyone to believe in this nothing, and we're going to trade nothing back and forth. Crypto wouldn't have worked way back when. They would be like, no. There was a reason why malls were created, and there's a reason why consumerism was created. Because it meant to go out and touch and feel a product and hold it and love it and call it whatever you want. That's why money basically came there, showed some kind of value. Now they're programming all the kids and everybody in to be like, I just made $100,000 trading crypto. It's nothing. It's nothing only through recognition of the fact that somebody else is going to say, yeah, you're right, totally, yeah. Just like a $5 bill, just like a $100 bill. Same size, same diameters, same thickness, but just different things printed on it. All the difference with crypto is it's another idea. And just the thing is, now the only thing you're going to see, you go, oh, look, I have it on my phone. Look at how much I have on my phone, until one day that thing's gone. They're like, yeah, no, we didn't like how you were operating, so we're going to take all that. Because you're, again, still registered into the entire system as a legal fiction. The best way for me to explain this to you is, if anyone's ever watched The Matrix, there's a scene where Neo's getting pulled out of the Matrix. They had to like put that thing in him so that they could track and find his basically soul or spirit or whatever in the Matrix. And then the claw comes down. It's very profound. Comes down, grabs him, and he's just like being hoisted up out of the Matrix. Very important scene, because that's a lot like you correcting your status in the real world, right? So they find Neo. They've got him out of the Matrix. And now he's starting to open his eyes and see. Another profound scene. He opens his eyes and he's looking around, and he asks Morpheus, why do my eyes hurt? And he's like, because you've never used them before, Neo. Right? Very important part, because a lot of us are blind to what's going on in the world. Right? So back to the crypto, back to the fiat currency, all of it was fake. Crypto could have never had any kind of existence in the 40s or 50s, because we were all about substance back then. Now we're all about illusion and illusory thinking, because the way things have been created is to get us to think in a direction that you're not good enough, and everything you need, you're going to get from the system. And you need the system. But what we forget to realize is that we created the system. We're the ones that run the system. But somehow somebody got a hold of it and used it against us. Right? Like, most people on a shitty day, like when they feel horrible, come out, sit in the grass, relax, enjoy life, and be what you're supposed to be. Think about why you want certain things. Is it because you actually want them? Or is it because somebody else told you you want it? Right? Like, what makes a Lamborghini different from a Porsche? The different kinds of want. And all they do is be like, you know what? I'm going to sell you this pair of sandals. This is $100,000 pair of sandals. Somebody buys them knowing that so many other people can't get these $100,000 sandals. So that when he's walking around or she's walking around, people are like, oh my God, those are the $100,000 sandals. Wow. You know, a lot of these sports cars are not as efficient as a regular car, right? But it's the status connected to it. It's all illusion. Everything is illusion and perceived thought. So if your perceived thought is infected by the fact that you think that something means something, but it's not exactly as it presents itself, then you're being manipulated by the system. Man created law, so there's no law above man. So the way they went around that is they got you to act as a statutory body created under the government. And that's where the entire birth certificate sham came about. 2 of you were born at birth, 1 of you died, and the one who was left living started acting like the one who died. And that's as simple as it gets. Right? Because when you get pulled over by a cop and he asks for your ID, and your ID was created from that birth certificate form, what does that mean? You are now a statutory government agent belonging to the government. And the moment you're like, here's my ID, you belong to the government. Because you're saying, I am this piece of ID. And really what you're supposed to say is, that's not my ID, that belongs to the government. Here you go. Is this what you're looking for? Like, well, is this a picture of you? I mean, is this you? They'll point at the picture on the license and say, is this you? You'll be like, at least I will. I'm like, no, that's not me. That's a picture of me. Right? That doesn't mean that I am that. See, what they did was they took my face. And this is the reason why they get you to renew your license constantly, is because they want the present now look of you to be on top of the name that's underneath, depending on how your license is set up, saying that all caps name that you're acting as is you, and you belong to the government, because the moment you turn that card around, it says property of Alberta, Saskatchewan, Ontario, Canada, whatever, right? And you're identifying as property. And that's where they get us all, right? So one of the things we were talking about yesterday was, well, we had a bunch of, the guy was telling me that they went around driving without plates to see how far they could get and all this stuff, right? And the thing is, we have the ability to create our own plate. We just have to put ourselves into the system to not be harassed by the policy enforcers that are basically going around after their own property. Because the only reason why they can pull you over, which technically they can't, is because they see a plate that belongs to Her Majesty the Queen or whatever, right? And they go, that's our property. It's just like, the best way to envision it is a bunch of ships out at sea, you know, and all those ships have to have a name on it, like the Louisa Express. We all know where that came from, the islands and the island of people that go and do stuff with kids and stuff like that, and trafficking and whatever. So they all have names on the back of their ships, and if you look at the license plate, it's technically acting as the name on the back of the ship, because somehow we got maritime law on land. And the way they got maritime on land is the sea people, the ones who are basically created under the birth certificate, like a citizenship, right? Like you're on the ship. You're a citizen on the ship. So the citizen must abide by the rules of the ship, right? So the sea people came onto land, and they had to govern their property. And their property is whatever they register as, right? Because there's a whole different rule towards what's the word I'm looking for? The people, what do they call people on a ship? I can't remember. The crew of the ship. There's a whole different rule for the crew of the ship than there is for landgoers, right? So somehow the sea people came onto land, they started governing their property, they got them to register, they got them to become certain things, and then they're like, well, we own you, and those people believed it, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right, you know, I did sign that piece of paper. But you can always go back with fraud as far back as the fraud was committed. And for instance, if you didn't know that when you started acting as the birth certificate, because nobody had told you, then you can claim fraud, reverse your titles, recorrect your status, and end up becoming a free man. And not like a free man on the land or a sovereign citizen or any of that kind of bullshit. Just a man and a woman. That's all there ever is in this world. It's just some people don't want to play the role of the man or the woman. They want to be something else. Let them be something else. But don't go saying that I have to participate in the delusion, because I don't. I don't have to. And this is where, what's the difference between men and women? Because when you need stuff to get done, men are the ones who are going to go forward and fight for both sides. Women will fight mostly for their side, unless they have somebody, a good leader, right? Women are designed to be led, right? They want to be led. They want to be able to be the woman that they can, but they need to know that they're being protected in that moment, right? And sometimes they can't find that protection amongst another female. Sure, they can get together and like collaborate, but that's where men and women have to get together and realize that the most powerful union on this planet actually comes from us being one. And when that can become unshakable, only then can we move forward in this realm of life and really be prosperous as human beings and really be what we're meant to be here. And I believe that what we're meant to be here is, we're here in this physical world to experience all physical things. And while we're experiencing all these physical things, We need to realize that in this body, I get this body once. So what I do with the time that I have with this body is my most important recognition of how I should be moving forward in my life, and not what I'm being told I should buy, not what I'm told that how I should live, and not what I'm told that, oh, this is freedom in a box for you, hope you accept it. And we have to always say no, and we have to explore inside ourselves how we want to move forward in this life. Like, sure, you've made mistakes in the past, like salt over the shoulder, right? You got to a certain point that got you to here. Okay, that's done. Where am I going from here forward, right? Let's not worry about all the people and how we can't reach the masses, how we can't get everybody on the same page. All we got to do is think about how to become the most authentic person or man or woman, authentic man or woman you can be while you are here in this physical realm. Because we are every day writing the book of our lives, and we are every day acting those scenarios out, right? Like, the only reason why I'm working out here, sleeping in a garage, is because I'm trying to honor my word and be the best version of myself, and not be like that guy who just like uses people and then doesn't give back. I have to complete what I start. That is just something that's in me, right? And I have to do that knowing that I did my best. That's just the standard that I live by. Now, maybe that's some of you guys need to do the same thing, is to soul search and figure out how to become the best version of yourselves. And the only way to do that is really to go back all the way through. And I spent years doing this, like years, to the point now when I watch TV, I'm like, wow, this is how people are lost. Like, I don't watch TV. The most time I spend is YouTube and making videos and working. I stayed at a friend's house the other night, and I saw like they put on the morning news. I watched the news, and I'm like, man, it's all bullshit. Everything's just bullshit. But that's why it's called television. They're telling you a vision and a narrative of how you should live. That's all it does. It suggests a certain way of living. Oh, wow. Look at that. This is life right here. See the bird? The hawk. He's looking for food. Look at him. Did I lose him? On camera, I feel like I've lost him. But he's out there. That's pretty cool. Wouldn't it be cool to see him like... Anyways. Getting back to what we're doing here. Talking about Palestine and religion. Without religion, wow, yeah, do you really want me to get into religion? Like, I don't know if I should get into that. I used to be very religious. I'm not religious. I'm more or less spiritual. You know, I believe that God created the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, which could just literally be your mind, your spirit, and your body, right? If you've ever read, and I say Bible, but like, is it really the number one book? You got Islam, you got Mormon, you got Jehovah's Witness, you got like a whole different section and pile of religion out there. And how do you determine which is the number one? But let's just say if we're going by biblical stuff, it says in the Bible, it says, I give you the power to be like sons and daughters of God, as long as you have the faith of a mustard seed. Things like, you have the power to tell that mountain to uproot itself and throw itself in the sea. And I believe we all do, literally. But we've been trapped mentally here in a way that took that power away, because we don't believe we can do that. We've been told not to believe that we can do that. Why do you think superheroes are glorified? I believe superheroes are just versions of us reaching the highest level of consciousness that we can become. Like Hulk resembles the anger of a man, right? Wolverine resembles the determination of somebody who just won't stop with the anger of a man. Then you got the ones who just like do thought stuff, right? We all have the capabilities of being superhuman on this planet. We've seen it through Tibetan monks, Buddhist monks. We've seen it through prayer. We've seen it through the word. We've seen it through casting out spells through what we talk. And that's the power of us being, which is the whole reason why we even started talking about all this. And I went off on a tangent. While we're being here, what are we doing with our time? If our time is being distracted in every direction, our time is being consumed by jamming thoughts into your head. Like, you need to be this, you need to be that. Like even the thought of being perfect. It's a kind of an oxymoron when you think about it, right? Look, Chunks is perfect. With his messed up ears, scars all over his face, he's perfect. And like when you look at how the value of a man evolves based on the trials and tribulations he's been, he becomes closer and closer to perfection as long as he maintains an authentic reality of himself in this physical world, right? So perfection you already are. But to believe that somebody says that you're not is a delusion, that you're allowing yourself to be captured by this way of being that is not naturally meant for you to take on. So like, I went to Shoppers Drug Mart just this morning. And as soon as you walk in the door, you must go right. I have no other choice but to see all the bullshit of what they consider beauty to be, right? And they got all kinds of people, fat, skinny, some attractive, not so attractive in my eyes, right? I'm allowed to have my own opinion. And the one thing they have in common is they got bullshit all over their faces to be something they're not. Put on that mask of persona, please, because this is not how I look. So smear all that shit on my face so I can be something I'm not, right? When you could just embrace who you are, right? The other day someone was making a comment, and like, oh, you got paint in your beard. And I was like thinking about it, because I can be gullible at times. I'm like, wait a minute, that's just my gray hair. He's making fun of my gray hair. Don't care, right? Whatever. It was funny in the moment, but I don't care what the other person thinks about me. So the moment you walk into Shoppers Drug Mart, they're already programming you into hating yourself, into going, oh, I'm not good enough. I got to buy all this garbage that's usually made out of toxic chemicals. I got to buy all this garbage, throw it all over my face, and wonder why I'm getting acne later, so I got to buy more garbage to put on my face. I've seen it time and time again with females, right? Like, honestly, I feel like a girl throws a little lipstick on, a little bit of eyeliner, and then just stop at that. Like, don't go any farther. No, get the Homer makeup gun. Remember that scene out of The Simpsons? I didn't watch much Simpsons, but I happened to watch that one, and I thought that was the funniest one. And he just like pulls up this double barrel shotgun, points it at Marge's face, just like, I made this new invention. And then he's like, you want to test it? And he just pulls the trigger and blasts her to the point where the makeup hits her in the face and it hits the wall behind. And she's like, homie, you had it set on horror. I thought that was so funny because it's literally how the world is. You're constantly being told you're not good enough. You're constantly being told you don't have the power. You're constantly being told that you need someone else to help you to navigate this life. We need to elect government because we don't have enough time to deal with all this stuff. So we're going to hire somebody who's qualified for the position to govern all these people, right? Why did we let it get so far? You know? Why did we let it get so far? That's what blows my mind is now all we're doing is being tied down by an hourly everyday job, right? We're being tied down by having to pay bills and survive. We're being tied down by all these survival mechanisms. Now we don't even see anything that's going on. And while we're not seeing anything that's going on, they're in the back office cashing checks going, yeah, those stupid people don't even realize that we're robbing them blind the whole time. And they're just going to keep giving us more and more and more and more. And that's the way life is. We have given up our right to be free. We can take that right back. Don't get me wrong. Don't think that this is a doom and gloom video, because it's not. It's not. We just need to start making the steps towards that. Like I was telling Brian the other day. I'm like, when you go in your house, you live in a 2-story house? He's like, yeah. I'm like, do you stand at the bottom of the stairs going, oh, it's going to be so difficult to make it up those 10, 20, 30 steps. I don't even know how many, right? And do you go, oh, every day? If you looked at that set of stairs every day and go how hard it is to make it up those stairs, guess what? You have now evolved your mindset, your physical being, and everything into believing that that's going to be hard and that every day is going to be a struggle. You can't look at it that way. The way we manifest a new future and a new life is to actually manifest in a way where the thoughts that we have in our head are actually our own and not someone else implanting them, and that we are acting upon the thoughts that are our own, being in the moment, being human being, and doing all the things that we love. You know, because even in the Matrix, they talked about how they gave birth to AI. And then AI created this currency. And it was great. And mankind and AI worked together seamlessly. But what if everything that they've been telling us is actually just for us to enslave ourselves? For us to give up. Oh, please, here, take it all from me. I want you to have it. And then complain about giving it up. You know? Again, the only way forward is to become the authentic version that is meant to be you. And there's no other way. So look, I've spent almost an hour talking to you guys. And I came to unwind, sit in the grass, ground with my dog who's wandering. Now, I gotta get him back here. You see this whistle? This is a lot like everything that's controlling our existence. Neo Jesus. Here's one thing about the word Jesus, and let me know what you think in the comments, but this is my perception of Jesus. If we're going by biblical terms, right? There's this dog now. If we go by biblical terms, it says that no man shall be called by any other name. No, the Son of God will not have a name that any other man will use on this earth. So how could his name actually be Jesus? Think about that. Why is your paws covered in mud? This poor guy, look at him. He went on a little mud adventure here. Oh wait, I thought I. Look at your feet. Come over here. Look at those muddy feet. Oh, you smell too. Must have been good mud. So, probably shouldn't film towards the sun there. Just go back to here. Oh, I can kind of see 2,000 years ago, Jesus wasn't even a name. They had no J's. You know, it's funny. I was literally thinking that. I just didn't want to go into it. I'm glad you wrote that. And honestly, Neo is actually, the whole point of Neo is like, the whole system is created off of vibration, right? When you speak, vibration comes out of your mouth. When you think, vibration goes out into the universe. When you feel, your heart electromagnetic energy produces vibration. You are exerting vibration constantly while you're living. What's the one thing that doesn't? Dead entities. The government rules the dead, the corpse, the corporation, the corporate elect, the corporate body. And we register our titles under a dead entity. And we have to come in form in life and write down on a form. But a dead person cannot write nothing. So they live, the dead live through the living, through acting as the dead. Yes, I should shut up? Is that what you're saying? He's like, just pet my belly. Oh, yes, gorgeous animal. Oh my God, I love this guy. You know, everything happens for a reason in life. And even me ending up with this dog, the reason was, I remember when he first walked into my house. I'm like, I'm not even gonna acknowledge that dog. I'm not even gonna pet it. I'm not gonna say hi. When I see it, I just got spit in the eye. Oh. When I see that dog, I'm just gonna walk right past it. And I did for 2 months, because it wasn't my dog in the beginning. It was my roommate's dog. And I knew when that dog walked through the door, it would end up being my dog. That's the crazy part. That's why I didn't acknowledge it, because I didn't want another dog. And my dog before him died. And I was like, yeah, I don't want any more dogs in the house anymore. Because the guy who owned this dog previously had a dog named Jax. The dog ran away. One guy told me, he's like, if a dog runs away, there's a reason why a dog runs away. This is a lot like life. You don't run away from things that you want to be around. You run away from things you want to get away from, right? That dog ran away. We saw the sign on the mailbox. I found it. When I came back, I'm like, yo, we found Jax. You just got to go to this lady's house and pick him up. And he didn't budge. I'm like, yo, are you gonna get Jax today? I asked him for like 5 days. The dog ended up in the pound. Because the people are like, well, we had to send him to the pound because we didn't know what to do with him. And he just let the dog go into the pound. I was just like, what a crappy human being. And then I told him, I said, listen, I don't want any more dogs in the house. Fuck it. I wanna just go about my life and experience my life without having to have an obligation of taking care of something or anything. And I went, and then I came home one day and he brought this dog home, the one that I have now. I was like, what happened? I said no dogs. He's like, well, whatever, we got a dog. I'm like, all right, whatever. Fuck, we can't get him to get rid of the dog now, right? So, in the end, like I said in the beginning of the story, that dog walked through the door. And I was like, I'm not going to touch that dog. I don't want another dog. That's what I said. Like, I'm not going to touch him. I'm not going to acknowledge he exists. Until one day, I came through. This is like 2 months of me ignoring the dog. Like, I swear, I didn't say a word. I didn't look at it. I didn't touch it. I walked by it. And I came through the door and the dog started barking at me. Like, whoa, whoa. Like, notice me, I'm right in front of you. And I was like, all right. I started petting it, whatever. Not long after that, the guy went to work for 3 months, never told anybody, just took off, left. Didn't leave no food, didn't leave money, nothing for the dog. Just like we're supposed to take care of his dog while he's gone. And I was like, I ain't having any of that. It's not your dog anymore, it's my dog. Because I felt bad that the dog had no one to take care of it. It's literally like 6 or maybe 8 months old at the time. And I just took the dog on, started training it, because I was like, well, if I'm gonna have to take care of this dog, I have to somehow get it on some kind of training regimen. So I started training it how I thought would work. I changed the way I trained this dog based on my last dog that passed away, who was scared of everything and very fragile. I ended up with this dog, started training it. The guy finally comes back, and the dog's not listening to him. And I started showing him, I'm like, this is what I taught him, whatever. He's like, you don't tell me how to train my dog. I'm like, what do you mean don't like, you didn't even leave instructions on what I should do with this dog. I don't tell you. I'm not one to be controlled by anybody. Woman, man, dog, whatever. I live free. I do my thing. If we meet at the middle and you're not trying to be better than me and I'm not trying to be better than you, that I think is a great relationship. I told him, I was like, yeah, well, I just did. I told you how to train your dog. So what are you going to do about it? Right? Like, you meet me with confrontation. I'm not going to really try to confront you, but I'm going to set it up in a way where you have no choice but to either confront me or just walk away with your tail between your legs. And that's what it kind of turned out to be. And there was this one instance, because like I let him have the dog back for like a week until he tried to like kick the dog one day. And the dog didn't do what he said. I'm like, listen, you can't just talk to the dog like that. And he's like, you don't tell me how to fucking train my dog. And I'm like, I just did. What are you gonna do about it? I just did. And he's like winding up to kick this dog in the ribs. And I said, and I stepped in front of him. I said, if you're gonna kick that dog, you're gonna do it in front of me. And I stepped aside and I said, okay, go ahead, kick the dog. Kick the dog while I'm here. See what the fuck happens to you. And the guy's just like, you don't tell me. I'm like, I just did. Kick the dog. Kick the dog while I'm here and you'll see what happens. And he just walked away. And like a coward does, they have to have that last word so that they can feel like they're not such a little bitch. Like when he's out of sight of me, almost in his room, he's like, I do whatever I want with my dog. I'm like, then come back here and kick the dog while I am here. And he never did. That night, I grabbed that dog and I put him in my room. Because I even heard him one night, he kicked the dog off the bed in his room, and I just hear the dog crashing through shit. And he was kind of abusive to the dog, so I just, I took the reins, and now Chunks is mine. The dog used to be named Odin, and now the dog's name is Dr. Chunks. Hence, the reason why we created this channel was to document his life. The dog goes with me everywhere I go. I think in his entire lifetime, he might have spent now it's a month at home, his entire lifetime, adding up every day, right, that he spent at home. But now, I'm very happy to have Chunks in my life. He has taught me a lot of things, like how to love and how to be patient. Because if I didn't have a dog, I think I'd be like stacking people like cord of wood, man. Like, I just was not a happy camper in that moment in my life. And a lot of people did me wrong, and I wanted to retaliate. But God, universe, spirit, Gaia, whatever you want to say, that controls us, intervened and basically was like, Like gold has to go through a really hot flame in order to be purified. That's the kind of life and path I've had to go through to learn patience, to learn to be not so reactive, to not to be that like mentality of Hulk, just going through life smashing everything, right? Because that's kind of how I felt. And in order to brace the authentic version of you, the only way to do that is to go back through everything that has built you up to the moment that you realize you need to make change, which can be right now. For me, it was like 6 years, 7 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago. This was slowly, gradually happening. And you have to revisit and ask that number one question: why? Why am I like this? Why do I want that car? Why am I attracted to that woman? And analyze the fact as to, is it really something that's driven by who you actually want to be? Or is it driven through a narrative that was placed into your psychology, that you've created into a physical manifestation in this reality? You have to ask that question. And so now my path is very clear in where I want to go. Still a little bit like shaky, but that's because I struggle with the ego and a couple other things that I'm learning to overcome in order to become the version that I need to become, that's more authentically me. And I'm just surprised I'm saying all this here on camera, because I don't usually talk about this stuff. But maybe that's something to do with the grounding out here in the middle of the field and where I should be working. But you got to take time. Like the Matrix says, if you never take time, how can you ever have time? The Merovingi said that. I love it. It's one of my favorite sayings. So I've taken the time in my day to sit out here, chat with you guys, and talk about perspectives and how we can move forward as the human beings that we're meant to be, right? We're not meant to be controlled. We're not meant to be put in place. But there are some people who are like, well, no, I'm not subscribing to what Jack is saying here, because I'm fine with my 9 to 5. I'm fine with everything that's already there, because we're living in fear. If we're afraid to step out the door because we might get hit by a bus, most likely you're going to manifest getting hit by a bus, because you've put that vibration into the atmosphere, into the ether, into your thinking, and you will most likely, yeah, Chunks, just walk right in front of the camera. Yeah, cool. You don't even like the camera. Why are you in front of it? Okay, go lay down. Okay, we'll lay down there then, I guess. So to kind of just bring this video to a close, because I've been rambling for now an hour and 9 minutes. I just wish that people find their authentic path, their vision, their wanting to become a version of themselves that no one else can be, just only you can be. Like Neo, when he gets into that moment when he's with Morpheus, and he's like, you notice that there's no holes in your arms, and you're wearing a certain set of clothes. He's like, that's the residual self-image of who you are. And that's the authentic version of who Neo was. So we need to find that authenticity in our life, because no one's going to just hand it to you, right? Like the way I walk around, sometimes I look homeless, but I have a certain look that I like. I like the long beard. the barber doesn't always cut it exactly. Like I used to have a barber that was really good at it, and then that guy just up and disappeared. Then I had to like resort to this other barber, but he used to cut my beard so perfect. But like honestly, I've let it go a little bit. I've been working so much, I haven't had time. I need to go get my hair cut because like everything's just like raggedy. So, without further ado, we've had this huge conversation. We went from status correction to law to playing the game of Monopoly to the Matrix to how I got the dog to I'm here to eat my breakfast, which I still haven't done. We're breaking the fast. And ground while I'm here out in this field. And so I thought I would try. What is this? This is they put the $2 off price on there. It says, is that chicken? Oh, it might not be good. I thought that was mushroom. So I didn't put it in the fridge. It's chicken. Here you go. Chunks. Ready? Ready? See if he catches it. Oh, fumble. So Chunks gets that chicken, I guess. Been sitting out all night. Dude, what's going on with you? You're like the professional food catcher. Ready? See if I can get him to catch it over my shoulder. Here's one more. Ooh! Back up. Back up. Come back over here. Oh my God. Look at him. Caught that one. All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna just eat the veggies. And my stomach should be good enough to eat whatever the chicken touched. I don't want to throw this away because I actually thought it was just a veggie bowl with mushrooms on top, but I couldn't read. Yes. I couldn't read the, what do you call it? I couldn't read the label because it was covered up with the $2 price tag. I was like, oh, so it's $8 to eat a bunch of veggies. I'll do that. Good thing I washed my hands, but my hands are covered in paint. So here we are, sitting in this field. And just loving life, ladies and gentlemen. Look at, like, we got the combines out there. I don't know if you can see them. Right there. See that? Right there. Just harvesting. What do we got here? I get some dog. Eat only 3. Is that Buddy's name? Some dog eat only 3. 3 years old. It's very good. Man, the glare on my phone doesn't allow me to read it. Oh, there's another combine in the field there. So I'm just gonna let the live run so you can enjoy this day with me before I go back to work. Give you, I'll just slowly move the phone. What a beautiful day. Wonder if he's gonna notice the food in front of his nose. You didn't notice the food over there? Ooh, what is that? You want it? No? Okay. I love my dog. Just chilling with my dog. These are great. lick a lick. No, you don't want that? Poison? Is it a lazy day today, Chunks? Oh, you know what I just feel like right now? I just feel like, oh, my body. Oh. This is what I feel like. I feel like to just lay in the grass with my dog. Oh. Where's my gorgeous animal? The most beautiful thing in all of Pitbulldom. Hey, why don't you come over here? Pitbull. Gorgeous thing. Ahem. You're so lazy now. Why not get Huggins? Doesn't matter. Sometimes you just need to take time. What a beautiful day. Is this a heart attack? Why? Because it's making all the noises when I went to lay down? No. No, this is, we come from the earth, and sometimes we need to recharge by laying on the earth. Right, beautiful thing? Look at all the dust on you, huh? Gorgeous guy. Look at him. Look at this beautiful pit bull. This is what the most amazing pit bull looks like in his natural habitat. Look at him. Would you just look at him? Hi. Oh man, we worked so much. I worked so much last night. Chunks did exactly what he's doing now. He's the slumber king. And this king needs to do some slumbering himself, me. I need, you know what I really need? And this is, in a way, it's weird. Laying down in the field is like a mini vacation for me. Which is kind of sad, really. But there's so much I should be doing right now, but I have to. It's like the other day. If I would have not fixed my truck, I probably could have got this job done. If I'm not laying in this field right now, I probably could have got this job done too. But man, my body is so beat up right now. Like my shoulder hurts, my back hurts, my ankle hurts, my calf hurts. My wrist is not hurting as much as it used to, which is pretty good. But I'm really thinking I'm going to need to do like a fast. Thinking a fast and a juicing together will help cleanse this temple. So now that we've eaten our breakfast, talked about, oh, did someone hear package ruffling? All of a sudden they decided to get up. Eat my protein bar to get some kind of energy to do what I gotta do today, which is going to be a lot of running around. I gotta collect money. I gotta finish this job out here where I'm working. I gotta go do another one. Like, the real slavery is money. Oh, my shoulder. Chunks, you're the perfect pillow. Hi to everyone. Look at this beautiful field we're out in. What do you mean, bear, go stand up and go? Are you calling me the bear or the doctor the bear? You need water? No? You just enjoying this moment? Stand up and go where? I'm just being. I'm a human being. Being a bear laying in the grass.
I actually should have slept here last night. That would have been interesting. Do I have to get up in this position or can I drink? I'm really liking these drinks. They're made with honey. What do we got here? There's something on there. Oh shit. Whoa. Whoa. Where's your beer? Oh, I don't really drink. Music 25. You have a beer, it's good. You know, I used to drink a long time ago. Not anymore. I drink a little here and there. But I don't use alcohol to enhance my life, I guess you could say. One of the other reasons why I created this channel was because it's your work. Hello again. I started this channel because I just want to do a bunch of adventures with me and my dog. Right now, we're adventuring in a field. Enjoying, I don't even know what time it is. Well, it's already 12. What am I going to get done today? Nothing. All right. I really, really badly need to just like go somewhere and not do anything for a week. I guess we should get up. After I eat this last protein bar. Yeah, look at this. Look at this site. You got like the salad we ate, drink, some cups over there. This is what exhaustion looks like. You just eat and eat until somehow you end up with energy and you're like, oh, okay, I got stuff to do today. But Chunks is better to look at than me. Just a man and his dog laying in the field. Just a man and his dog learning how to feel. I should just smoke a joint too. But it's all the way at the truck. And if I do that, the day's completely shot. Sometimes the best living you can do in your life is just to do nothing at all. And enjoy it. You know, when I close my eyes, I can hear some road noise, but what I can hear is those machines in the distance cutting down the hay or whatever it is they're harvesting. I hear the birds, the crickets, my dog obviously breathing heavily. And last night, I would have had a good sleep, but the shop compressor kept turning on and I was too lazy to get up and turn off the main switch. And literally when this thing kicks in, it's just like, blah! And like first time I'm like, what the heck? I don't get startled too easily. But the second time I'm like, oh, I should get up and turn that off. The third time I'm like, yeah, I'll get up. And I was thinking of putting on my slippers. And I just kept sleeping. Half awake, half asleep. Maybe that's why I'm so tired. Anyways, there's some more views. Look, that bird is up there soaring, hunting. There's all kinds of life roaming right now. We're 2 hours in. All right. I think it's time to clean up the mess. Put the sandals on. And get back to work. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking. Thank you for subscribing and sharing. Both me and Chunks. Thank you guys for your support. And I'm knocking over my drink. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. He's so amazing. When did you turn Chinese? Oh my God, he's the most beautiful pit bull in the land. In the land, in all the land. Texas Mickey Jack here, loving life, living life. Ladies and gentlemen, have yourselves a great day. And until next time, do everything you want to do in your life. Be the best version of yourself. And chase that authenticity. Be good. He's sleeping. Talk to you later. Bye.